Watu wengi hapa nchini hupenda mahali na ambapo ni patulivu, mahali ambapo macho yako inavutia. Karibu sana mpenzi mtazamaji wa runinga ya Mwangaza. Katika kipindi ukipendacho cha Dhahabu ya Ukulima, tuandamane hadi tamati ili ukaweza kuwa na ufahamu zaidi kuhusu ukuzaji wa maua, miti pamoja na matunda. Ni katika kipindi cha Dhahabu ya Ukulima na mimi nahodha wako Wanjiko Mbogo, na usisahau kuwa siku ya leo tuna mwanarika ambaye amebombea katika hii kazi ya urembo. Unajiuliza, je, urembo huu unaweza upata wapi? Kaa mitamboni ili uweze kuwa na ufafanuzi zaidi. Kumbuka kwamba unaweza wasiliana nasi kupitia 22914 22914 au kwenye tovuti yetu ni Mwangaza TV. Karibu tena mpenzi mtazamaji wa runinga uipendao ya Mwangaza, na kama nilivyokuarifu hapo awali ni kuwa, je, pengine unajiuliza maswali mengi kuhusu mambo na ama jinsi na ambayo unaweza tumia ili kuweza kurembesha nyumbani mwako, na kama nilivyokuarifu hapo awali ni kuwa tuko naye Ndung'u ambaye atakuwa kituelezea zaidi safari yake ya kukuza maua, mimea tofauti kama matunda na pia miti. Karibu ili tuweze kuandamana hadi tamati. Sam, habari ya leo?
Jambo sana.
Chukua hii fursa usalimie mtazamaji wa Mwangaza TV na umfahamisha majina yako kamili.
Ndivyo. Mtazamaji wa Mwangaza TV, jina langu ni Sam Ndung'u Kariuki. Kijana anaifanya hii biashara ya kilimo biashara located Ngong Road. Yes.
Apart from kilimo, before sasa tuingie kwa kilimo biashara, maua, matunda na miti, what else do you do? Ama wewe ni mwanafunzi mahali?
Well, ukiniuliza kile kitu ambacho nafanya sasa hivi, nitasema na ile trend ya jack of all trades, kwa sababu kilimo biashara nilianzia kama as an off the book business kwa sababu sasa bado mimi ni mwanafunzi chuo kikuu University of Nairobi.
Unafanya nini?
Nafanya Bachelor of Commerce, major in operations management, minor in IS, that is information system.
Na ukifanya hayo masomo yote, you don't consider any like wanarika wengi huwa they can't do kilimo. Sijui wanachukulia jambo hilo namna gani? What drove you to be in kilimo?
Okay, what drove me to be in kilimo is that currently being dirty, like in a good way, getting your hands dirty, kufanya kazi mikono yako is where money is. Because currently ile kitu ile ni drive ni the first time nilipanda a small plant and I made money out of it. Ndio ilini drive as a passion.
And that was when?
I was like I think my first year nikiwa campus. I was back in like 5 years ago so. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Na sasa tukiingia kwa kilimo biashara, kwa hapa naona umerembesha zaidi.
Yeah, sure.
On the other hand uko na matunda, uko pia na miti. This is landscaping. Ningependa uchukue fursa uweze kuelezea mtazamaji wetu what is landscaping. Maybe anasikia tu landscaping hajui ni nini.
Well, landscaping ina ujinsia ama ina ufafanuzi mingi na mrefu. Because one, landscaping nikiongea hivi naweza sema it's about like turning something ugly, formerly like a ground, you hiding its ugliness and turning it to be something good. You're creating a good ambience, kitu ambayo kinafurahisha macho. Yes, it's all about landscaping. The landscaping ziko na ujinsia mingi. Yes, kwa sababu kuna landscaping in form of trees, landscaping in form of soil, ina depend. Yes.
Na kwa nini ukachagua iwe landscaping in form of flowers, trees and fruits?
Well, I would say these are money yes. So money yes, but still ni vizuri. Kuna tuko wengi kwa hii biashara, si mimi peke yangu. Na sitasema me I'm the best. No. Hata sijafika, I'm still there. In fact, I'm still learning. Nikiji categorize, I'm still not there yet. I'm learning from the best. Because jinsi nyingine ambayo you can learn is listening, observing, doing it practically. And of course, landscaping, we work both hand in hand, and step by step with the client. You like formally, I can come to your place. Unaweza taka nifanye landscaping, but sitafanya mimi as an expert. I'll listen to you as my client or maybe a clientele. Nione unataka tufanyaje, so tutakuzana mawazo. And then me into my line of expertise ya landscaping. Then I'll let you know the ideas zenye tutafanya, and then we work hand in hand. Finally, it's your home, man.
Na huwa mnafikia your customers namna gani?
Clients wetu mostly we have a website, ni kitu ya kwanza. So jinsi ambazo tunafikiria clients wetu is like tunafanya one-on-one sales, outside sales. Like the shop that I have here. Watu wengi wanakuja, mtu anaona kitu, you are interested in the product, we negotiate ama unaipenda, you buy it. Service yenye ambayo nitakupatia, I deal with referrals mostly out there. Nikufanyia kazi poa, I'm sure you're going to refer a friend ama rafiki mwingine wako, and that's how the trend goes. But the moment I bluff ama nifanyie show the business into your end, yenye haitakufurahisha ama italeta ujinsi ambao inakufurahisha, I'm sure.
And do you get invitations like from your customers to go and do the landscaping at their own houses?
Yes, I do.
Homes,
I do, and I'm hoping to get more. Yes.
Tuingie sasa kwa maua.
Okay, fine.
Tueleze kuhusu maua. Most of the people don't know the cost of having this beautiful flower at their homes.
Yeah.
Kwako wewe umekuwa kwa hii biashara kwa miaka kama ngapi?
I'd say 5 years counting. 5 years and I'm still learning. Na napenda ni kumbusha mtazamaji wangu, I'm not the best yet. But where I am, I think I'm heading there. But according to how I know my work, hakuna mtu apendi kujipigia debe for sure. So you just never know. Yes.
Tukiingia kwa maua, unaweza tuelezea like some types of hizi flowers zenye uko nazo?
Sure.
Na jinsi ya kuzikuza.
Yeah. Plants zetu ambazo tuna deal nazo formally ni za urembo. So it's for beauty, officially beauty. Kuna strictly beauty. And as we say, it's known to everyone. Mtazamaji wangu, everyone mwenye atawatch hii show and everything, beauty comes with a cost. That's for sure.
So nisione tu hii nifikirie ni kukuja tu kuchukua na kusonga.
Beauty comes with a cost, but a cost that is favorable, a cost that is manageable, and a cost even hata nikikwambia you can still think about it, because for one, for you to buy a product you have to be interested in it. Which means lazima nitakuwa nimetengeneza plant yangu vizuri, that's one. Secondly, nime maintain thirdly inakuvutia. Aspects ngapi? Which means hata nikikwambia price, much ikipenda kitu imependa,
utanunua.
That's how I work, yes.
And does it mean that I have to buy this flower if I own my own house, or can I buy it even in rental houses?
Yeah, you can. Even into an apartment. Like for this, I'm going to give you an example. There's no way I can sell flowers kwa watu. I don't have one in my place. So I have to define my work and have to love it. So like for me, home I have done to a few friends. So into rentals you can have, kuna zile za indoors, zina manage vizuri ndani ya apartments, indoors, even into the bedrooms, all those you can have them. On the other end, utakuja kupata mtu, una boma yako, you're doing it nicely, and remember boma yako, it's your place to live. You're not planning to live there anytime soon, like to get out of that place anytime soon, unless you have other plans. So unalingana, kuna zile ambazo unaweza kwa rentals, na za rentals si za kupanda, right? Juu ni apartments. So hizo utaweka ndani ya vases, and then you can do them in your house. Hizi zingine za mtu mwenye akona boma yake, you have to do ground and everything else that you feel comfortable with. Yes.
Ningependa tukitoka kwa mapumziko kidogo niweze kukupatia nafasi uweze kutuelezea 3 types of expensive flowers and 3 types of the cheapest flowers after the break.
You got it.
Mtazamaji wa runinga ya Mwangaza, shukrani kwa kuendelea kutazama kipindi cha Dhahabu ya Ukulima, na kama nilivyokuarifu ni kuwa leo tunaongelea kuhusu urembo. Wewe ukiwa pale unaweza tembelea Sam ili uweze kuwa na ufafanuzi zaidi kuhusu aina tofauti za maua. Tunaenda kwa mapumziko kidogo, lakini tutaweza kurejea baada ya muda usiokuwa mrefu. Karibu tena mpenzi mtazamaji, na unaendelea kutazama kipindi cha Dhahabu ya Ukulima. Kumbuka kwamba unaweza wasiliana nasi kupitia 22914 22914 au kwenye tovuti yetu ni Mwangaza TV. Kama uko na jambo lolote kuhusu maua ama upanzi wa maua, miti ya matunda na pia miti ingine, unaweza patana naye Sam ambaye ataweza kukuelezea zaidi. Sam, tumeacha mahali nimekwambia utupatie 3 expensive flowers na 3 cheapest flowers.
Well, 3 expensive flowers, 3 cheapest flowers.
True.
Well,
because najua uko nazo.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say there's no expensive flower and there's no cheap flower. But ziko. So in the first place there is no and there is. So the most expensive ones, it depends. As a client, if you know what you want. Kuna zingine ambazo we bring them from Mombasa.
Okay.
There are some we breed locally and there are some we bring along kwa sababu haziwezi survive, na for them to grow and for them to survive it takes quite a while. So we bring them as mature plants. We can now make them to acclimatize with the condition ya hapa so that we can sell them off. So the most expensive flower you have, there is even a flower for 50k plus.
What? You have it here?
I'll show you now. Probably yes. Yes, 50k plus. There are some for 10,000. It depends how tall the type of a plant. Mostly zile expensive ones we have like the palm trees. Then unaona zimepanda all over.
Yeah.
I think Nairobi, Mombasa, all over. Yes. But for them, since I'm a small enterprise, I don't have most of them because still is a risky business. Juu hizi vitu zetu, how you display them and how you keep them, still is risky. The moment people know like you have a plan for 50k plus,
atakujia.
Still a challenge.
Na usiku hauko.
Well, we improvise on our security, and that's upon us. How we handle security issues, that's on us.
What about the cheapest flowers that you have?
Well, I'll say even the cheapest, there's even a free plant I can give you. Yes, as long as I give you extra services as a client, umebuy maua kadhaa. Well, cheapest, 20 shillings, 10 shillings.
But they are cheap but beautiful.
Indeed. Now that's where the point is. Cheap but beautiful.
True.
For this kind of a scenario is what a client wants, no matter how cheap it is, how you put it on the ground and how you raise it, na venye unaitunza. It's how you get an outlay. It's how you get the results. So even if it's a cheap plant, maintain it, make it look good, grow it nicely, attend to it, and then you see the beauty of it. Cheap but beautiful and creating a good ambience. That's the point.
And what are the factors that you need to consider while planting flowers?
Planting flowers.
Like climate.
Well, currently we are based in Nairobi, right? As Nairobi, it's a mixture of weathers. It's hot, sometimes it's cold.
True.
Because you have Kiambu, Remule, all of us. You have Kajiado, Ngong, and everything. So these things, these areas, they are hot. So it's a mixture of weather conditions. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's just chill. So for plants to survive, I would say like how we usually deal with them, it's like they acclimatize because we do interbreeding for them. Yes. Juu hata tukibring plants like those from coast, it's hot. As long as zikikuja hapa, they kind of die for a while and then they just come along. Yes. Which means,
where do you get water for irrigation?
Water for irrigation, well, that's another case.
Bearing in mind that you are in the street.
Yeah,
where do you get water?
We're in the streets, and this business, I told you, it's an expensive one to handle irrigation and everything, for plants to look good, for plants to attract a client. For you, even if you're giving me like an interview, you wouldn't buy something that's not attracting your eye. And for plant to attract your eye, you mean it has to look beautiful. It's just have to give you that. It's kind of a touchy thing. See? So water is one factor a plant cannot do with. Yeah, so we have sun. Well, on another plant, on the other basis, a plant has to have water to survive. So what we usually do, we have some guys who bring water from us.
Okay.
Like for us, they do supply. And what we have done, we have dug some holes as water catchment areas. We can see that we are in the middle of, we are just on the section of Ngong Road.
True.
So there are some channels zenye maji zinapitia.
Okay.
So when these guys were building the road, they gave us like a waiver, say like they did us a favor.
True.
So wali channel hiyo maji to some sections, and then we have some small water catchment areas. So tunaweza fanya hivyo. That is one way. Second, we rely on rains, which sometimes haziuko. Thirdly, we do irrigation ourselves. Tuko na mashimo tumechimba as water catchment areas. But doesn't necessarily mean that ati tumezichimba like maji is coming all along. We have to bring them. Yes, but it's not so deep. Yeah, just a small thing to just make sure your plants are surviving. And then we have them kokoteni guys.
Na tukiingia kwa kilimo biashara, bearing in mind that you have flowers for sale.
Sure.
Ni watu wagani haswa ambao huwa ni customer wako? Is it wazungu, is it wa Kenya? Ama ni akina nani?
Well, me I would say every person is a client. Every person, no matter who, no matter your color, no matter your race, everyone. Because I get clients from local to 5-4 people. They have been very supportive. The people who come along, diplomats and all that, as long as you do a proper display and a proper setup of your work, you get a client. That's for sure I am. Leave alone that, even where I live, I have people who live with in the same area. They're still my clients. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to buy a 10,000 plant, maybe a 5,000, even 1,000. 1 shilling counts to me. If you want client who's giving me 10 shillings, I'll count that in. You're a client, and I'll value you the same way I value a client who's giving me 10,000 plus. Yes.
As we move on, let's go now to the fruits.
Sure.
Give us some of the type of the fruits that you have here.
Type of fruits, well, we have quite a number, especially things that grows locally in Kenya. We have like we'll start with mangoes, that's for sure, you have them.
I have seen it.
Mangoes, you have seen them, well, that's good.
True.
Mango, we have avocados, we have apples, we have, what else, passions, we have kiwi plants, we have guavas. I mean, like every type of fruit, probably. The common known ones, the plants I was brought up knowing, and some which have done the crossbreed, kina macadamia and all that. It's quite a number. Yes.
Na wakati inafika wa kuuza hayo matunda yako ama miti ya matunda,
sure.
Is it sure that mwenye unauzia tuseme like I've seen a mango kafupi sana but kako karibu kuzaa. Does it mean that ukiuza kataendelea tu na kuzaa?
Well,
is it sure? Are you sure about it?
Yes, I'm very sure. Because I'm going to give you my assurance with this. These are not them days like we used to say like a tree has to grow like 20 feet tops. Ili kupatia fruits. We are happy with how the Kenyan government is doing. Kuna those people lock the breedings, right? Kenya Forest Services wamekam na hizo programs because we're still under them because we're in a program of beautification and all that. Other things that you have done is that when they do interbreeding, we have Kina Muranga people, they are doing so very good in avocados, and they are bringing up the ones that they have already done some interbreedings. So even if it's small, and still there are types. Even if it's small, the reason as to why they did this kind of an interbreed is because you don't have lots of space. Like for people when you're to just small houses and all that, but you just have your small lawn, you don't want your tree to grow so very tall into your neighbor's place. Because you know how people are these days with their spaces. So even if it's small, they did this so that you can be able to do many in one section, but to have lots of productivity. So that was the main reason. So no matter how small it is, it's still going to produce. In fact, I'm seeing the umeona in a few times zikipandwa chini. You even going to be forced to like uzitege, like you just support them because they're going to give you so many of them. Yes.
Na wakati unaendeleza kilimo ya matunda, nimeona when I was coming here, nimeona watu wengi sana wenye wako na mashamba kama haya. Do you have a chama or an organization for those people, maybe mnasaidiana as in kukiwa na outbreak ya kitu huwa mnajua?
Well, yeah, that's for sure. I'll come to that. Well, people on Ngong Road, because there are some who are into this business, because I would say like we are that kind of generations, of which I told you earlier when you're giving me the first few minutes of our interview. You told me like people are many, yes, but I told you I did this as a side hustle. So if it's a side hustle, it means you're coming in new. You've no clue, you've no idea, you've no expertise, and you're not experienced in farming. So when you come along, will you survive alone? You cannot. That's for sure, you cannot survive alone. So the things you need to do, you have to come together as a team for people around you, because you have to build a good relationship with people around. The moment you get a client ako kwako na maybe me or you don't have something yenye nataka kutoka kwangu, you can come along. So that's what is called building a good relationship. So yes, for Chama we usually come together like as a team, maybe for the young people, but we also learn from the guys who have been in this business for quite a while, and then that's how we usually do. So that in case like we had a case for sure, and of course I think that Chama really did as well when Gong Road was being like built. Right now the section is almost going to be completed. So for the government or maybe the Nairobi county government to recognize us, the Chama now was involved, the people who are, the leaders who are in this kind of business category for a long time, So they were the ones, and of course in case there was an issue for us to move the plans to create way for the road, those are the people we saw, and those are the people who gave us the guidelines. So our complaints, yes, we have them. Hakuna mtu ana grievances zake. So in case we do have,
what about inside of government? Serikali kuna kitu imefanya ili kuinua watu wa maua wenye wanapanda maua, sababu saa zingine unasikia wanapeleka msaada kwa watu wa mahindi, wa maharagwe. What about nyinyi watu wa maua?
Well, if
have you got any support from the government?
Well, if there is, heads up now. To me, sijafikia. Maybe to other people, because kilimo biashara, like in form of maua, I'm not doing there alone, right? So for people who have been there, maybe they have benefited, we are yet to benefit, because you know how it is. Yes. For the people who are there, maybe they have a program of which you are yet to be introduced to. But in case we do well, I wouldn't say that the government is not doing nothing, but I would like to say for the people who are into this kind of a department, agroforestry and everything, to just do like something based on this kind of it's a form of creating work for young people. And
before we wind up, right now mko kando ya barabara.
Sure.
Do you see your business at risk?
Sorry?
Do you see your business at risk?
Yes. Well, I'll say this. Every business is a risk. Leave alone this of mine. Every business is a risk. And the moment you don't risk, you don't gain. If you don't gain, then there's no need for you to do business. So for sure, yes, there's lots of risk. One, to go in the kando ya barabara. So in case of an accident, well, you can meet yourself, but we just work with favors. Do what you have to do, and the rest comes along.
Are you happy while doing this job?
100%. If there is an extra of 100, I would say 150. Yes, I am happy. Where I am, how I'm doing this. I love nature for me, and I would like each and every person to just taste just to have that kind of a small taste of how nature looks. Take care of a tree today, you take care of a life tomorrow. That's for sure.
Ningependa uchukue hii fursa uangalie hii kamera. Uweze kuongea na mwanarika ambaye ako pale nje ama mtu mwingine ambaye anatutazama pale. Mpatie mawaidha kuhusu hii kilimo yote ya matunda, ya maua na kila kitu.
So for me, my youth wenzangu, I'd like to say this. Well, siko kwenye nataka for now, but I'm heading there. I didn't meet myself here, but I started somewhere. So for guys like you, young ladies, young guys, for me, like also you, I'd like to give you this message. Try something, just do something. As long as you're feeling comfortable, no matter the challenge, just start somewhere. You might not earn that time, but when time comes along, you learn. You just never know when, who you're going to meet there, whoever is going to even have a look at this show. I don't know, but guys, let's just start somewhere. It's hard, I know. It's a tough economic time, I know. There's COVID all over, I know. But with all those aspects put in place, let's just start somewhere. Tusijipende sana. Yes, it's a form of doing two things that are set. Let your work hands for you, but your brain also work hand in hand.
True.
Yes.
And how can people reach you?
Well, I would say that I have my phone number. I'm still trying to do well, probably to improve on my forms of marketing, and I'm heading there yet. Yes, which means at the end of the show, I'm going to give you guys my number. Nitawapatia namba zangu. My website of still I'm yet to develop. I'm trying to come up with the business names and all that. Yes, you're heading there. So that's one way. Facebook, I'm there. I'm creating a page. Well, when people see this, you never know where it might go. Yes.
Na asante sana sababu
Shukran.
ya muda wako. Thank you so much. I know and believe that mtazamaji wetu ameweza kupata kitu na pia njia bora za kukinga mazingira yetu. Asante sana.
Sure. Shukran.
Mtazamaji wa runinga ya Mwangaza, shukran kwa kuwa nasi, na hapo ndipo tutaweza kuweka kikomo kwa kipindi chetu siku ya leo. Panapo majaliwa yake Mwenyezi Mungu, wiki ijayo tupatane wakati kama huu. Nimekuwa nahodha wako Wanjiko Mbogo na mgeni wetu siku ya leo amekuwa ni Sam. Hadi wiki ijayo. Bye bye.